Hi folks, Michael P. from the Tech Office, and I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about permissions in your wiki and your blog. So the first thing I need you to do is go ahead and go to your wiki, because that's where I'm going to start, is with wikis, and then I'll talk about blogs in just a moment. But I'm going to go to my wiki by going to wiki.pcs.k12.mi.us, log in, and find my wiki. And once I've done that, here I am. So there's the title of my particular wiki that's listed here, and as you can see, I've got a theme set for it and lots of different posts and pages linked here. What I'd like to do is change the settings, and so what I need to do is find the settings link in the admin functions, and that could be anywhere on the page depending on your theme. On this particular theme, it shows up as a block down here, so I'm going to find the settings link, click on it, and it will take me to this page. Now, in the settings area, I'm not going to worry about anything else but permissions right now, and so let's focus in on the permissions that I have set. What I'd like to be able to do here is set this wiki up so that anyone in the entire world with internet access could go ahead and read this. I want to set it so that only I can write to this, and I'd like to make sure that I have comments set correctly so that if anyone does post a comment, I'll be made aware of that and be able to change anything or delete anything that's inappropriate or maybe spam. And so I'm going to get started. Now, by default right now, I've got this set as public. What that means is anybody in the world can read this wiki, anybody in the world can write to this wiki or edit this wiki, and I don't want that. So what I need to do is narrow that down. You can see I've got two choices under public. Users must log in to read. In other words, they'd have to have an account in order to even read my wiki. I don't want to do that. That locks out lots of people. I want to make it so that users must log in to write. That will limit who can write. And so you can see when I do that, by default it thinks, oh, okay, well you want anybody with a PCS account. In other words, anybody on staff or any students to be able to write to this. Well, no, I'd actually like to narrow that down even more and make it so that it's only the following users and groups. And so if I were working on a project with Tim Green, I could put in Tim Green here, and maybe I type in a Tim and I realize, oh, that's the wrong Tim, and so I can just get rid of that Tim by clicking on the X there. If I leave this blank, it means only I have the ability to write to this. It doesn't allow anyone else to write or edit my wiki, and that's where I would like to leave that. If I'd like to work with another staff member, or I'd like to have a student involved, I could add them here. Okay, so I'm going to set that as public. Users must log in, and only the following groups. That will eliminate any other issues. If we were to go with private, I'll just show you what that looks like. This would be something where you would create a wiki just for sharing information between a couple individuals. There are better ways to do this, so I wouldn't recommend going there. I would encourage you to use other tools for sharing in that way, and that's why I went with public here. So public, users must log in, and only the following users, and leave that blank. Or maybe add maybe if you've got a team member you'd like to share editing with, you could add them to that list. Admins I'm going to leave alone, but again, if you'd like to share this with other people, you just add them to the list and their name will show up down here. And then finally, comments. When it comes to comments, if you'd like to completely eliminate comments, you don't want to worry about it at all, just choose nobody and no comments will be allowed. If you'd like to choose to have comments, you need to choose authenticated users. If you choose the last one, which is anyone, that means what it says. Anyone in the entire world can post anything they want as a comment to anything that you put up here. Again, you're opening the door for anyone to post anything, so you'll get some spam, some inappropriate things posted by anyone who happens to find the wiki. The other piece that you can do here is choose how comments will be moderated. If you choose none, what that means is you won't be notified and you will have no choice whether the comments show up or not. If you choose anyone and you choose no moderation, then every post, every comment that is posted will show up by default. If you choose nobody, you'll notice chooses no comment moderation. You don't need any. If you choose authenticated users, that means that anyone with a PCS account, students, staff members, etc., they would be able to post comments to what you have up here. when it comes to comment moderation, you can choose to moderate all comments or only anonymous comments. The anonymous comments really only pertains if you choose to let anyone comment. I strongly recommend against letting anyone comment. That just opens the door for all kinds of spam and work for you. So I'm going to choose right now that I want to moderate all comments and choose only authenticated users to be allowed to even make comments. That means they'd have to log in to comment. So once I've set all my settings, I'm going to choose Save. I'll get a little indication up here in the corner. The group settings have been saved, and I'm good to go. Now, the last thing that I'm going to do is show you how this works with your blog as well. So I'll go back out here to the blogs and choose to go to blogs, and when I go to blogs, you'll see I can go to my blog. And just like before, I'm going to look for the admin functions and choose settings. And this time, you'll see we have slightly different wording here, but I want blog access. I want to look at the blog access. Your choices are limited here because the difference between a blog and a wiki for this argument here is that a wiki would be something that's edited by multiple people. A blog is edited by one person or posted by one person. So if I want to make my blog public, what that means is who can read my blog. There are not going to be multiple users posting to my blog. I'm going to make my blog public. In other words, anyone can read it. If you want to limit this blog to only PCS users, then you could choose users must log in to read. And again, what that does is it locks out anybody from the outside world. They'd have to be a PCS user with a PCS account in order to log in and use this. If I choose private, that means that only the people in this list would be able to read the blog postings that I put up. Now, in this case, where I leave it blank, that means I can see it and no one else can see it. Kind of pointless. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and choose public. Anyone can read it. And I'm not going to force users to log in, though you may want to with some students. That is a perfectly acceptable way to work if you'd like to keep this within students. But keep in mind, parents do not have PCS accounts and cannot log in to this server. Then finally, comments. Again, just like before, you can either completely lock out comments, or you can allow anyone in the world to comment, or you can choose just authenticated users. Authenticated users is really your best choice because that forces people to log in order to make a comment. Once they've logged in, then you know who posted that comment. And again, for comment moderation, I chose all comments. In other words, anytime a comment is posted, I will be notified and be able to choose whether or not that comment shows. So once again, just like before, I'm going to click on Save and get a little indication up here in the corner. These are now grayed out. I know that it's all set, and so I can get back to my blog by clicking out here, go to my blog. All right, that is how you set permissions for your blog and for your wiki. Enjoy!